Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to oil a bicycle chain. So let's do this thing. So before we actually oil the bicycle chain, there are two different types of oil that you can get. And the one is a dry type and the other one is a wet type. So this is oil based and this is like a wax type oil. And the difference between the two is this type, the wet type or the oil based type oil, is used in wet conditions such as rainy conditions, muddy conditions, that type of stuff. Because if you apply the wax type oil to your chain during wet conditions, it'll just wash off as soon as you go through your first river or your first mud or the rain comes down, it just washes off immediately. The oil type sticks to the chain a little bit better and actually helps lubricate the thing during the wet conditions. So, dry conditions, use this type of lubricant. Wet conditions, this type of lubricant. The downside of this type of lubricant obviously is it attracts dust and that type of stuff which you don't really want in your chain. And this type of lubricant obviously washes off very easy. So let's head off to the garage and let's put the oil on. Okay, now that we're in the garage, I'm going to be using the wax type oil, which is your predominantly used oil. And I'm racing tomorrow, very hot, very dry, humid conditions at the moment. So it's going to be very dusty out there. So this is actually the perfect lubricant to use. Now the first thing is, this lubricant should be put on a few hours, they say 24 hours before a race or an event. Don't rock up at the event, put the lube on. I've seen guys put the lube on and actually just spinning the chain like that. Get on the race and go riding. That is not going to help your chain. All that does is, as you ride and you're going around, all that oil or the wax type based chain lubricant is just spraying off your chain as you're going, and it's actually serving no purpose. It's an absolute waste of money. The second point is, do not put excessive amounts of oil on the chain, because all you're doing is attracting dirt into the chain and it gets stuck all over the gear and the components and serves no real purpose. So let's have a closer look at the chain and see how much you actually need to lubricate the chain. So now all we need to do is take the oil or the wax and drop one little bit of lubricant on each bit of the chain. Like I said, I've seen guys take the oil, they basically pour it on as they're turning the chain around. That serves no purpose. So just one little drop of oil on the chain is all you need moving through. Once you've done that, you can take your fingers and actually just roll the little part in the middle of the chain there, because what you're actually trying to do is lubricate the inner little pin in the middle over there against these little wheels over here, and that is the actual part that you're trying to lube. You're not trying to put lubrication on the outside of the chain or the inside or anything like that. All that does is attract dirt. So you can move it in like a little bit, take a rag, dry off any excess and move it on again and continue as you go. Now what you'll also see with this method is that when you actually apply the lubrication to the chain, it doesn't then, when you look at the chain ring for example, the lubrication doesn't get stuck on the actual teeth or anything of the chain ring. Okay guys, that's all you need to actually do to actually lubricate your chain. So you don't need to put copious amounts of oil on the chain while spinning it. And once again, please do not put this oil on 5 minutes before you go riding. It needs to be at least a few hours, especially in the wax stuff, because that actually needs to dry out a little bit and stick to the chain. And by just turning the chain and going riding immediately, all you're doing is flinging that stuff off the chain and it's serving no purpose. So guys, I hope this helped you, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.